Welcome back to Golden Sun. This time I should have my audio settings correct, so we should have a lot more commentary than we did last time. I am so sorry about that. Again, it was just weird driver issues. Now, let me just open up my notepad that I have on my phone. So, I've been keeping track of the things that we need to do to really finish the game, because at this point, we're in the end game. We have the cannon that we need in order to get into procs, and I think we've done all of the side quests, or maybe not all of the side quests. There might be some stuff in procs, there may be some other things that I've missed, but I've made a list of all the djinn that I'm missing, and I've also made a list of all the summons that I'm missing. So, unfortunately... okay, just these guys. That's fine. So yeah, I've made a list of all my djinn that we're missing and summons, and we're doing pretty good actually. There are only like one, maybe two... okay, no, one genie that we're missing that we can do before we get to procs in the Mars Lighthouse. And then one summon I think we might be able to do. And then, of course, we also saw the Star Magician. Now, the first place that we need to go is back to Trial Road, and we also need to go to Yallam, because I'm sure that we've got something smithed up at this point in time. We really need to keep on top of that. Like I said, we are in the end game. I don't want to be going back and forth forever, just waiting for that to happen. So, that's one place that we need to go. We need to go to Yallam. We also need to go to Trial Road, which is here at Shaman Village. And I kinda almost want to do that right now, except I also want to get to Yallam first, so we might use our shortcut through this middle continent here. So we'll probably do that. I'm probably going to do a whole bunch of cuts. So we're going to go to Yallam, then back to here, then back to Yallam, and then I think we're stuck going to procs, which is like up in here. And we also need to make a side stop at Magma Rock in order to get another magma ball in order to get into procs, I think. I don't think it just, like, lets you reuse the magma that we've already had. And I would love to know why it does that display thing. Maybe it's because I'm using the D-pad? Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. Let's get back to Yallam to get our stuff and finish all our errands before we really start in on procs and Mars. I never remember how to navigate in this town. Yep, you have finished. Corsair's Edge. It's probably not actually all that good because it was one of the rusty weapons, right? I'm pretty sure. So Salem got it. Yeah, that's... well, at least we can get some cash back out of that. That's fine. Okay, and I'm churning through all the rusty weapons first because we said that those don't stack, which means they're going to be the worst for me to hold on to. Let's also get the ones that we have the longest out of the way. Kind of a FIFO approach there. Just because I think they aren't going to be worth anything. I just want to get them out of my inventory. You would think I'd want to start with a Philo system or something like that, because then we could potentially get some better gear, but that's not what I'm looking for right now. Oh, hold on. Oh! Oh, sweet! Okay, so we don't have to go back to Magma Rock. That's lovely to know. I don't even know how much I sold that for. Let's hit up the inn real quick, replenish our synergy so that when we get back on the ship, we can travel quickly. I really need to get up to procs because I think the synergy there permits us to teleport places. And that's going to be a lot more economical than, you know, hovering in the boat. Now, we already have the one in the cave, so we're just going to skip right on by it. Thankfully, we also have this shortcut, so we don't need to redo the puzzle. We just need to get to Trial Road. And I think because we already have the magma ball... Wow. Let's try enunciating just a little bit more, me. So I think because we already have the magma ball, we are not going to waste our time going back to Magma Rock. And we are also going to, I guess, just go straight to Prox. And then maybe start to do the Mars Tower. Wait, nope. Remember the objective. Thank you. Yep, caffeine's not fully kicked in yet. Just enough to make me feel a little bit more aware. Not quite enough to make me fully cognizant. Is this the way to Trial Road? I think it is. Okay, now here there's supposed to be a genie that we can access using hover. And some other synergy, I think. And I think now that it's not a competition, we can just freely walk about. Right? Sure looks like it. Okay, so it's not that. The other neat thing is we should be able to go up the left path. Which, if you recall, we didn't take the first time around. Oh, hold on. That's an idea. I wonder if that means that I could totally... Like, maybe we can... grab all the items that are in here? I mean, it's all just, healing items, but that could still be useful. And what I really need to be doing is doing that, I think. So that'll set you to Gale, and we also need a mover. Yes, I see. Now, if you wanted to solve the room, you would just push, I think, the outer two, or, you know, the lower outer two, you would push them in one. You would have left the two with the vines on them entirely. Oh, sick. Okay, this place does still have the items. So, even though we're not on a time crunch, we can totally just go through and clear out this place of all the ones that we didn't take before. We're gonna need sand here, which I think Mark has, yes. Is that not the solution? Oh, no, you're just supposed to run on it. I guess you can sand to go up the fall itself, maybe? Let's try that. Can we do this? Yes, we can. So, even though I don't think... I don't know if Gaia Rock was required at this point in time or not. Let's see, Gaia Rock. That would have been Izumo, right? I don't remember if there was... Grind was Lemuria, so we wouldn't have needed that in order to get here. Oh yeah, we're getting all these healing items. You love to see it. Oh, I see. So you're supposed to climb up and break the thing, and then, like, do this kind of a thing. And if you really want everything, of course you're going to be behind at this point in time. Yep, now I unfortunately do need to go and be right back, so I'm gonna go and be right back. From your perspective, I'm just gonna do a wee little cut. Oh, okay, with that out of the way, let's continue. Right, I should have done this side first. That's annoying. Well, whatever. Would have had to backtrack either way, it's just that this way is a little bit slower because I backtrack through the exit. And like, do I really need to do this for what amounts to just recovery items? The answer is probably no, but... let me think about this. So... if we do that, we can now get through. So that's something. Okay, that goes nowhere. Realistically, we need to go here. Ah, and then I think the trick is if you have somebody who can freeze, then what you could do is push these south. And then freeze. And actually, come to think of it, you don't even really need to defrost this one if you're going for the quick route. All you would have to do is defrost the one to the left, move that down, and then refrost this. But at the point in time in the game that you would be doing this, you would probably need Piers to be his default class. Or, you know, in my case, Siros. Aha! Okay. Is there one of these on the other side? Yes, so no wonder I wasn't even aware of this. We need to use Hover, who I believe Zelda has? Now... okay, there's no reason to go up there. We strictly need to go over this way. And then we need a lift, which I think you have, yes? Thank you, Garth. I really want to finish out my coffee, but gotta keep moving. We'll save that for the transit break when we go to Prox. Or should I cross the entire map again to go to Yallam? Okay. Now the question is it moving in a circle around that lake, or is it mirroring my moves? Because if it's mirroring my moves, it is mirroring my moves. So that suggests that it needs to be stuck somewhere. Is it mirroring my move, though? How can I test that? There's functionally no way... oh. No, it's just avoiding me, but how do I get to it? And I also see some bubbly bits, so I wonder if I have to freeze the bubbly bits to, like, hop across. Let's go ahead real quick, and we'll try Binding Frost, see if that works. That is not how that works. What if I try... Reveal? Yeah, aha! Okay, and doubtless that's also how we're supposed to get to the Jupiter. Yay! You're annoyed at me! Please don't reset. Please don't, like, run away so I have to reset. That would suck. Now, I was really confused when I looked up the list of djinn on a wiki, because in some places it just has, like, Mars genie and, like, Venus genie, and I was like, okay, but is there, like, a name or anything like that? And then if you stop to actually read the thing, it basically says, if you missed anything in the first game, then this is how you can get some of them back. And I was like, oh... yeah, this doesn't matter to me, because we did get everything in the first game. I kind of just want to be real thorough here, and make sure we're not leaving anything good behind here. And then I think when we leave this area, I think we might be able to use... oh, yep. Kind of expected that. I think we might be able to use retreat to get back down to the bottom of Trial Road. But I also think if we want to see if there's anything special on the other sides that we came up, we might... Oh, Lucky Pepper, heck yeah. Yeah, so we might try going up the other side just to make sure there isn't a hover path over there as well. And then we'll retreat. Oh, but then, okay, there is also the right-hand side of Trial Road. So if we go back down that, we might be able to get all the health items that we didn't get the first time around. So that may be worth it. I'm probably not going to show that on camera just because we've already been up that side. There's no real reason for us to do that. Interesting. Okay, but what's the point of that? So by revealing that, what is the point of that? Hold on, let me go around this side. There might be something we can do over here. No. And in fact, we've also just confirmed that there's no reason for us to go to the other side, except unless we want the health items. And I think we are going to do that. I'm just going to skip ahead to either Yallam, or we're going to go straight to Proxen Mars. Let's see, Gasp. Okay, so that is a Jupiter. That means you would go to Alice, theoretically. But that's only going to stat boost, I think, right? Like, that's not going to change your class at all? Yeah, so that's all that does. We really do need to figure out what we're going to do for classes in the endgame, but I think that's it as far as missing djinn go. We also need to check my summons list, and also cross Gasp off of it, or off the notepad that I have open. So we can get one in Ateca Cavern, and that's pretty much it. I don't think we have that particular summon. Okay, so normally this would be like that. This is clearly made so that we can get back down. Okay, so we do actually still need you to be a ninja. We do that. And then I think we need to push both of these pillars all the way down. Actually, you know what? I have decided we're going to keep this on camera just because we didn't solve these the first time, with exception of the first couple of ones. So, this is how you solve it if you are going for all the items. I don't recommend trying to do that during the trial, but the fact that you can pick them up after the trial is great. Let's see, who has the nut? Nut isn't really worth it, so I think we're either going to sell it or just use it randomly out in the field. Vials, on the other hand, vials are worth it. Those are a lot more HP. Okay, so we can come down here. Potion, that was worth it. Aha, okay. I haven't really been keeping track, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe there are more potions on the other side too. Like, maybe they really don't expect you to take this route if it's your first time through. So I think I've kind of accidentally done something interesting by taking the rightmost route instead. Like, I don't think I've made it hard mode or anything like that, but let's see. So I need to be able to get to here, which means that we need... I guess if I push you down, that pushes you up, and we move you directly north. And then by doing it this way, alternately... Alternately, I can just not waste time looking for pound and just push this into position. So that's a potential solution. Oh. Never mind, I didn't realize that these are weighted, or not weighted, so... I guess when I was originally doing the trials, I just kind of got it right the first time. Like, I just didn't even think it. I just intuitively understood what needed to happen. Didn't think for a second that they might not be weighted. We are going to need to solve this from the other side, I think. Yes. So we need to come over here. We need to push this into the corner. I do remember doing this. And then, unfortunately, we need to go around and push this up so that we can push the one to the left over. And actually, I might have done this out of order. So we need to do this, then we need to do this, then we need to do this. We might have only been able to do that order of operations just because we're approaching from the top side and not the bottom side. Yeah, well, there you have it. We have done both sides of Trial Road at this point in time. I think we also get rid of this elixir because we really don't use those. And now we're going to fast forward. I'm guessing I'm probably going to Yallam. I'm going to be real with myself. I really want to keep chipping away at all the equipment, especially because we're in the end game and we still have so much to forge. Like, I want to make sure that we don't waste any material before we get to the final. To the final? To the end. To the conclusion. That would also work. To the final. Where do I even come up with these things? Okay. To Yallam. Oh, and I guess I also should go to Lemuria at some point in time, too, because I do have a couple of lucky medals. I don't think the equipment there is going to be particularly great, but, you know, worst case scenario, good use for money purposes. And since I'm already going over to that part of the world for Yallam anyway, I might as well go Yallam, Lemuria, Yallam, and then Prox. Yeah. Okay, this is super silly, but we're going to do that. I think I like that plan. Alright, come on. Show me the goods. I also kind of wonder at some point, can I just go back in and out of a blacksmith as long as I have some kind of forgeable item, and then he'll just be immediately done? Ooh, demon mace. Okay, so that's gotta be cursed, right? That's totally cursed, right? It's not cursed. Shocking. Very shocking. Unfortunately, this item is not great at all. So that's immediately getting sold. Alright. Once more into the rusty items. I also wonder if certain items, like, forge up faster than others. Like, with the rusty items... Yeah, okay, I had a feeling that wouldn't work. What happens if I just leave the city and come back? I haven't tested that before, but if that means we can speed up our forge process, that would be ideal. I'm just testing this before we go to Lemuria. Incidentally, I decided while we were on our way over here that I would go to Lemuria. Oh my god. Okay, so we are going to Lemuria, but now that I've figured that out, we're going to get rid of some of the materials in our inventory because we have so much that we need to do while we're here. I wish I'd known this so much earlier. It would have saved me a lot of time, and, yeah. Yeah, that's probably made this series a little bit unnecessarily longer and or harder than I would have liked. So I'm just going to go in and out a few different times until we are done with all the materials that I have on hand. And then after that, we're going to go to Lemuria, and we're going to see what we can get with our lucky metals. And then, after all of that, we're going to Prox. And you know, the interesting thing about this is that very clearly it means that this building that we're in is technically still a part of the town, at least the instance of the town. And so I don't know if you get like teleported to another part of the map when you just go inside, but then going to the overworld augments the counter, whereas just entering and leaving the building does not. So we do have to fully leave the town and then come back, and this is so silly. I wish I discovered this, like, ages ago. We're at the end game, pretty much. Okay, so after realizing that I could just leave town and then come back, I did a whole bunch of loops of that to process as much of the materials that we currently have on hand. So what we're gonna do now is I'm going to go through real quick and figure out who benefits from some of the stuff that we just got. Now, the thing about Marie is that if we do this, she only gains 2 defense, but then she loses a ton of agility, so I don't think that's worth it. I think that this Ardagh robe is probably worthless. Oh, but plus 20 power. Oh, it's Mars power and resist, though. Yes, so unless there's somebody else who doesn't lose that much defense but would benefit from this. And the only person I can really see that possibly working for is Alice. And even then, we still haven't settled on a particular class type, so we're probably going to sell this and then come back. Let's see, is there anything else that Robin has? Negative, onto Garth. So we got a bunch of stuff, we got a couple of things on Garth. We have the Chronos Mail, which raises HP, and we also have the Mithril Blade, which is apparently really good. So let's take a look at this. You get a 17-point defense boost and a max HP boost, but you lose agility, and Garth is already pretty slow. So let's take a look at who can wear this. You can wear this, but it's not really worth it. You can wear this, but it's not really worth it, and you lose attack, I think? Let's see where everybody else is on the agility front. Okay, so these are a couple of slow boys, too. So we could potentially give this to Garth for a massive defense boost, and then he doesn't need to be as fast. Like, maybe he can just be tankier. So I guess we might do this. Hold on, let me just double check. Yeah, so it's defense and HP. Which, okay, sure. That does actually kind of make sense for you. Let's see if the Ninja Garb works out better for anyone. It does boost Marie's speed to hilarious levels. It lowers defense by 9 in exchange for a 48 agility boost, which, like, she is already the fastest person in the party, but it could be a good idea to make her even faster. So we're not going to get rid of the Ninja Garb. I'm still going to hold on to it, think about that a little bit, cogitate. Restore Synergy. What do you currently have that it's not as good? Oh, boosts versus restores. So it might be a good idea for Garth or somebody else who's using the Adept Helm to switch to this. So it's a good thing that I held on to that. Now let's take a look at the sword. Okay, so it really benefits Garth. It also benefits Mark and Cyros. So let's see, 16-point boost here. 24? No, 14-point boost here. So 16, 14, And this is 23. So it benefits Garth the most. I think you get to equip this. And let's see who else wants the Hestia Blade. Nobody. Nobody wants the Hestia Blade. So that's okay. We do have the big Stonkin Sword that somebody else got. Flame Shield. Resists fire. Let's take a look at who benefits. Garth is currently using a different shield. This is a defense boost of 8. Or, not 8, 4. So it's really going to depend on what the secondary stat is. Also a defense boost of 4, so we'll have to check what shield those two are using. He is using an attack bracer, so this would boost his defense quite a bit at the expense of 11 attack, which, depending upon what sword we give him, or what weapon in general, that could be okay. We could offset that there. We also need to think in terms of who needs flame resistance. So let's see, who did I say? I think it was Mark, Garth, and Cyros. Aegis Shield, raises evade, increases criticals. That could be good. And it's 41 defense. Oh, and you're also using the Aegis Shield. Okay. And what are you doing? War Gloves? Let's take a look at if anybody else benefits from that. Yeah, so for a couple of these guys, it's like break even in terms of attack and defense. Salem could potentially get the most out of it because that's a 13-point boost to attack and an 8% hit, or an 8-point hit to defense. Ugh, I can't talk. The caffeine is not fully circulated yet. Mark gets a 15-point boost to attack, yes, and loses 6 defense, so this is actually really good for Mark. Alice up 11 attack, down 7 defense. Okay, so the point is the War Gloves are not completely out of the picture just yet. We need to figure out who gets the Fire Shield. Let's move on to this mace. I don't think it's good for anyone. I'm just going to go through again. Yep, that's not good for anyone. We have a bunch of weapons here now. The Captain's Axe is new and bad. The Viking Axe is new and bad. So the stuff that Mark has is probably all not great. The Floating Hat. Raises luck, resists wind. Oh, and it's a 1.2 multiplier on luck. So giving this to a really lucky person like Salem, I think, might be a good idea. Salem might be lucky as a byproduct of wearing something, though, so I'll need to double check that real quick. It also doesn't... Oh, it's a hat. Okay, so it's a hat versus... What is this, a circlet? So that might be a different slot? Like, you might be able to wear a hat and a circlet simultaneously? Let's just test this. No, okay. So it just occupies the head slot. That makes sense. So this circlet raises luck. Yeah, okay, so Salem's getting a plus 10 off of that. So it's a question of if removing this is worth the 1.2 multiplier on putting that hat on. So we'll keep the hat for now. Sylph Rapier probably isn't going to be better than anything we have. Nope, it's not. Stardust Ring. Seal an enemy's synergy. It is a ring, so there are probably plenty of places we have ring slots available. And in fact, I think she might... Oh no. Alice is the one holding this one, and is the only one who would have a noticeable stat change. That's fine. Draco Mace. Unleashes Aging Gas. So this is a 2 attack boost to Zelda. A 4 attack boost to Marie? What do you have? You've got the Thanatos Mace, I think. Let's see if Zelda can use the Thanatos Mace, because it could make sense to make that swap now if it benefits her. It does not benefit her. Okay, so unfortunately, if that's just a 2-point boost, we do give this to Marie, and we lose one of the cooler animations in the game. Even if it's not as good, like, attack-wise, I still think we want to do that. Then we have the Dragon Shield. Let's see what this does. Resistance of water and fire. Defense 42. I want to see if that stacks up against the other shield that we just got. 247, 259, so that is a 12-point boost for an 11-point attack drop. 9, 1? Ugh, you're definitely not getting it, I don't think. Also 1, you're not getting it either. Yeah, so I don't think that's quite as worth it as the other shield that we got. Moving on to... Let's see, so we have the Stardust Ring. We'll have to figure out how to distribute those around the party. Titan Gloves raises HP. Zelda potentially can use that. What do you currently have? Spirit Gloves raises Synergy. I don't know if that's worth it. You are wearing Spirit Armlet? Cure Ailments. Is that it? Oh, okay. It also has resistance to a couple of elements and a defensive boost, so I don't know about that. We'll have to think about that. You are using... Oh, that's, You are using the Aegis Shield. Do you have any? Oh, yeah, you've got War Gloves. Okay, that makes sense. Raises wind power. And you have the Aegis Shield, yep. And you have Crafted Gloves. Okay, yep. Yep. So that is a case of, do we want attack or do we want resistances and HP? So I'll have to think about that. Huge Sword. This is what we're really looking for. So 11 points of attack on Cyros. Six points on Mark. I think we just equip. Neat. Let's see if Hestia Blade is better for anybody again. I don't think it is. Yep, because we already did that with the other copy that we have here. Dragon Helm. Resists water and fire. Qui Bono. So let's see, you've got the Synergy thing. It might be worth swapping out one of those two for this. You have the Viking Helmet, which does something special. Resists water. Ah, so it just resists water with 30. So this might be the easiest decision to make. This might just straight up be better. Ah, okay, so it resists water slightly less well, but it also adds the fire resistance, so that does kind of make it worth it, especially since we're coming into the end game here. So we'll do that. I'll think about giving this to somebody else. Synergy thingy. So I don't think the Viking Helm is going to be better for any of the people that are using the Adept's Helm, but there are also other things. I think the Lucky Cap or something like that, we might replace one of those with because it restores Synergy and increases luck, so we might do that. Spirit Ring restores 160 HP to all allies. This would be really good to give to one of the non-healers as an item that they can just use, almost like a mist potion. But for now, I need to go ahead and sell some stuff. This has been Session 35, Part 1 of Omega Plays Golden Sun. Part 2 should release on Tuesday, September 9th. If you're new to the channel, please consider liking, subscribing, and clicking that bell to be notified. As always, I'm looking forward to your feedback in the comments below. And with that, I will catch you on the flip side. Thanks for watching, everybody. In the upper left is the next episode, or a video you might like. In the lower left is the series playlist, and on the right is my icon by which you can subscribe. Thanks again for watching!